very blunt. If you look at the superior races, the superior cultures, like the Japanese, the Germans, the Nigerians, these are three different racial groups, but they are the dominant in they are the dominant ethnicity. You know, you have to ask yourself, why are the Japanese better as a cultural group, technologically, scientifically, morally, than the Malaysians, than the Chinese, than other groups? Then you have to ask yourself, why are the Cambodians who are Asian, why aren't they at the same plateau as the Japanese? It's a cultural thing. Japanese people typically don't respond to words. They don't typically respond to violence. And they're not a violent culture like the Cambodians and other Asian countries are. If you even look at the black race, unfortunately, I'm going to be very blunt. If you look at the black race, we respond to words. We respond to a lot of words. And if you just look at our culture, if you look at the cities that are ran by our people, if you look at the countries that are ran by our people, they're generally in disarray. If you look at the European culture, the white race, why is it that the Germans are one of the dominant white races while the Ukrainians are not? And if you just look at their cities and cultures and their behaviors, you can almost make a correlation between violence and GDP, gross domestic product, or in terms of their economy. You have to sit back and think, what is keeping certain cultures back and certain cultures moving forward? You know what I really believe? I really believe this wholeheartedly. I believe that the African American and most Africans across the diaspora, if we continue this thug culture, this street culture that does not have any power, we are going to be so far behind. We are not going to travel the stars and extract resources from other planetary bodies. But their dominant society is ran off of intellectualism. Now, somebody can argue and say whites fight and kill each other all the time. That is true. But their dominant society is ran off of intellectualism. It's not ran off of, he said this to me, I don't give a fuck. You don't hear that in white cultures. And I've been around Japanese people and Jewish people, and I have to admit this. These people are peaceful and they don't respond to words. So I have to say, damn, maybe not responding to frivolous shit like words catapults a race into a superior class. Now, I know a lot of people are going to write in the chat and say that I'm a coon and Uncle Ruckus. Maybe so. But the fact of the matter is this street shit.
What?
Give me a second. I was quiet. Give me a second. I was quiet. This street shit is holding our people back. And it's not just African